Now, there is theory that goes behind this. When you think of theory, you want to think of it like English grammar. You learn how to speak, and then you learn that you're supposed to put a comma there and a period, and this is a question mark, and how everything is kind of tied together. The thing is theory came after. It was created off of. So even though there are a bunch of formulas, the formulas came from the key of C, the natural notes on the piano or on the keyboard. So here's your piano keyboard. One of the things that I haven't shown you already is why there's a natural half step between E and F and B and C. If you look at the keyboard, you'll notice that between E and F and B and C, that's the only spot that doesn't have a black key in between it. All music works the same. All music comes from the piano. All theory is written off of the piano, and it was written off of the key of C. What I mean by that is when theory was created, they played from C to C, and then they went back and said, oh, look, these notes are these steps. Those are the steps to the major scale. Then they took that and said, okay, everyone must follow this rule. So that's what this is. It shows you those steps with those notes. Now I flattened out the keyboard so that way each key is like a fret on the fretboard. So that way it makes it a little easier to see. And then you can line it up and you can see why there are sharps and flats in the other keys. It's created off the key of C. There's no sharps or flats. It's created from there. Then the major scale formula is applied to the other note, but they must fit the formula, and that's why we have sharps and flats. Take a look at this and see if you can get the general idea of how these scales are created. They all work the same, they all sound the same, all the degrees are the same, they all have the same jobs with the same numbers, everything is movable. This is where it comes from, and paperwork is different than the actual work. You want to physically get better at this. It's going to be way easier to understand that this is my major scale pattern, and then I can move it to G major or F major. Writing it is different. It takes a little while, but this way you have an understanding that it comes from somewhere. There's a reason for everything. As you start to get better at it, those things will start to fall into place a little bit better. You know your notes, you get everything memorized, and you're good to go. You've got 10 songs down and you're working on 15 to 20 songs. You're gaining that experience. You're learning how to do techniques. Every day you want to practice, but you want to be able to practice with something that's moving you forward. Our first one, how to learn your chords. That taught you all your chords. Notes, it taught you how you can learn any song you want to because you know all your chords.